It is 9:04 on the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Our phone number is 727-579-1025 or 800-771-1025. In the studio with us is Steve Byrne. And on the hotline, joining us right now, is our friend Bert Kreischer. Bert, how you doing, buddy?
It just dawned on me, I am responsible for your relationship with Steve Byrne. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier.
More than most people know, though.
Yeah.
More than pull that close to your mouth there.
You guys didn't like me.
No. See, that's the story.
By the way, also not you guys.
No, it's true. They didn't, but they didn't like me.
He said, Galvin's back at the station, by the way. I always forget to tell everybody.
Where is he?
He's back in St. Pete, so you can hear him.
He should be there.
So
shut up.
Here's the thing. Bert said to me, he goes, hey, Steve Byrne's coming on this tour with us to Dublin. When you meet him, you're going to love him. He's great. You're going to love him. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, cool. And then you came to the thing. You didn't hang out. You hardly drank. And then we're all like raging in Dublin. You're like, I'm going to go back to bed. And then I was like, hey, that guy's not the party animal you made him out to be. Nice guy, but did not really hang out with us, didn't do anything. I was like, whatever. And then Bert, like a dick, goes back and tells you that I said that.
Right.
Why would you do that, Bert?
There was a probably 4-year period where, and I'm just realizing this now, where Steve and I were responsible for each other making friends. Steve introduced me to everyone at the store, made sure I was included in like any time people were doing stuff, tried to get me in at the store. And I think vice versa, I was like that with making sure. It was all when we were on Jameson.
Yeah.
Steve and I spent so much time together, and I love Steve, and I was like, I need the people that I love to love Steve as much as I love Steve. And so I was like, Steve, Cowhead doesn't like you, and he's not seeing the right side of you, and you need to show him the right side of you. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, we just need to party with him. And it was like, understood. And so the next time he saw you...
No, let me explain. Yeah. They were. Now the next year, it's exactly 365 days after that, it is St. Patrick's Day in Dublin the following year, and I just come off the flight.
But you have to remember, the first year, though, I had literally just finished doing that Wedding Crashers show.
Right.
I lived in Vegas for 3 months, and I was zapped.
I know this.
I literally wrapped and then flew to Dublin.
I know this because I'm getting my luggage, and you come up to me and you go, hey, man, how's it going? I go, oh, hey, Steve, good to see you. How you doing? And the next sentence was, hey, last year I was really tired on this tour. I just wrapped up doing the thing. I was a girl. I mean, that's like
reading what Bert had. Hey,
right.
Listen, Mike Calta.
Yeah.
And
then I looked at you and I was like, oh, it's great to see you. Have a good time. And I was like, Bert's such a dick. Because I just knew Bert went right to you and told you
well
everything.
intended, and I think that's a testament to Bert, though, always kind of like looking out and doing those kinds of things to like make inroads.
Yes.
Because it's like you guys would be great hangs together. So.
I also think that I may not have liked me in that year either because I was still young and I was still like, let's go out and drink, let's go rage, let's do stuff in Dublin. And now I'd be like, get this guy away from me. I would not want to hang out with me either. So I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the same time, Bert, Steve and I were also talking about when you went Hollywood on us, when you went from Florida boy to Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
We pretty much agree on.
I was telling Mike this. I don't know if I brought this up to you or not, but do you remember we were like in Kansas City or something? I hadn't seen you for a while. You hadn't seen me, and we were at the airport, and we sat down, and we had I had such an awesome time with you. We were just BSing and catching up, and I was asking about your family, and you vice versa. And I was like, man, this is so awesome. And you're like, dude, we got to hang. Let's do this more often. I go, 100%. I called you 4 or 5 days later, like, dude, I missed you. It was so great hanging out with you. I'd love to do this again. Let's get a bite. Let's get a drink. Let's get a boys' night. Let's just do something. Never heard back from you. I was like, man, I missed it. I was like, I guess that was it.
He's very popular.
I probably would have replied, yeah, let's podcast.
Yeah.
We figure your jump the shark moment was your massive exposure to Joe Rogan's audience. That's what brought you into Hollywood.
Is that what changed me?
Yeah, and I don't think you changed. I still think you're the same person. You're just a little bit less accessible now.
Oh, I'm trying to get even more less accessible. I'm trying to change my phone number. I just can't get around to it.
Maybe you should just get rid of your phone. Because when I've never seen somebody like broadcast before surgery. Before I'm like, Bert, we get it, dude. We get it. You can disappear for more than 20 minutes. We're not gonna miss you. You're still here. We get it, dude. I mean, you're getting surgery, dude. Put it down.
I will tell you very candidly, this is, I swear to God, for whatever reason, when I have panic attacks, when I get scared or nervous, if I can see a camera, I calm down. I used to do it on Travel Channel whenever I was
That's called narcissism.
What did you say?
That's called narcissism. That has nothing to do with panic attacks.
And I told my anesthesiologist, I go, hey, man, I need music playing when I go under, and I need to do a promo read for my Red Rock stage. And he was like, are you being serious? And I was like, I'm being dead serious. And dude, I did the first one, and he had given me a nerve block in my left arm, and my left arm collapsed, and I couldn't hold it. And he goes, you're going to have to use your other arm. We're about to operate on that arm. And I was like, okay.
Jesus.
And so then I used my right arm, and everyone in the room was looking at me like, how did he get his phone in here? Like, you're not supposed to have your phone right now.
Yeah.
It's not reacting well to our medical machines.
And you know what the answer was? He was on Joe Rogan. He's allowed to bring his phone in there. Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Those guys, I went in to get my post-op yesterday, and all of the nurses was like, it's him. Oh. And they were like, we love your video. That was so great. And so then I took pictures of everyone. Sure, I got COVID. But it was, what's funny is Segura, when Segura saw it, his face dropped. And he was like, you realize how different we are, right? And I was like, no. And he goes, you rolled into surgery like you were getting on stage. Like you rolled into surgery with music blaring, your phone on, yelling out Red Rock states, putting out your website right before they put you under. He goes, when I rolled into surgery, I called my parents. I said, I love you very much. See you in a few hours.
Bert Kreischer is joining us on the phone to talk about his rescheduled and upcoming Birdie Boy Tour, which is coming here to the Strauss Center on October 20th. And then October 21st, 2 dates, 7 o'clock and 9:30.
Can I tell you something else?
Please.
So this other time I run into Bert, right? I just remember this. He goes, I go, oh, this is what I did. I did Tampa, and I do your radio show, and I of course, I kissed the ring. I thank Bert. I go, man, these guys are great. It was such a fun hang. I had such a good time. I was like, yeah. And Bert's from here. My parents had just moved here. My parents retired. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be going to Tampa a lot more often. We should do a show together in Tampa. He's like, I'd love to do that. Let's do that. So I talked to my agent. I called Bert. It's like a month later. I'm like, hey, man, let's schedule that show together. Never heard from him.
You have to wait. Wait till he's going into surgery. He'll have his phone in his hand. You can get him then. I have to tell you, though, I was in L.A.
I'm not good at returning phone calls.
Yes, that's true. But Bert, all right, I'll tell my Bert story real quick. First, I was going to say I was in L.A. with Bert last week.
Yeah.
And we spent I'm out there for like 3 days. We spent a day together, and we had a great time. It was great.
By the way, congratulations to Bert on
the Variety Impact Award. Great job. It was old school, just me and him. I got to see the girls and hang out at the house, and it was a fun day. Prior to that, Bert called me, and he said, hey, I leave for Serbia, and I'm going to be gone for like 3 months, and I got like an 8,000 square foot house, so if you ever have the urge to come out to Serbia, let me know. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool. Then the pandemic hits, nothing's going on, and I look at my son, and I go, hey, you want to go to Serbia next week? He's like, hell yeah, I do. And I call Bert, I go, hey, I think I'm coming to Serbia. He was like, all right, great. I go, just let me know what day is good. He goes, all right, I'll let you know. Nothing. I'm sitting here.
Let me do another one of those for you.
Keep going. Alexa, what time is it in Serbia? Maybe I should call Bert.
So I gotta. This is an open invite, and I will make it up to you.
Here we
and you
go.
can come with me, Cal.
Write this down, guys.
Right. We record
this down and bold. Yeah.
So Saturday, when I'm in Tampa, like Wednesday, Thursday, right, and then I'm in Orlando for whatever those dates are for the Straz.
October 21st. Wednesday, Thursday in Tampa. Go ahead.
And then Friday, Saturday, I'm in Orlando, and Sunday I'm in Tallahassee. So I get a text from the offensive coordinator at Florida State. He's like, yo, man, you want to come to the game? And I was like, yeah. And my wife's like, how are you going to fit that? Ready for this? Private jet out of Orlando, Saturday morning, fly up to Tallahassee, go watch the game, fly back after the game, wasted, do the shows in Orlando. Are you in?
Well, I'm going to say I'm in, and then I'm never going to hear from you, so you're just going to break my heart again.
Nope. I'm making it up to you.
100% in. Last time you said, are you in 100% in, I was on a flight to L.A. the next week, so I'm 100% in.
All right, 100%.
Wait a second. If that plane goes down, do I want to be the Burt Kreischer and Friends die in plane crash? I have to think about that.
Do you know how much press we'll get in Florida?
You will.
Like,
I won't.
Will be, oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I'm with the #1 DJ in all of Florida. That's going to be amazing.
I am. I might make it.
Two-time Marconi Award nominee. How you like that? He just got nominated for Personality of the Year. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'll make a blurb. All right, yeah, I'm in. I don't even like college football, and I'm in.
Oh, it's going to be great. I haven't been back to Tallahassee since. Wait, Steve, go ahead.
My friend is the equipment manager for FSU, so we're probably going to leave with some goodie bags.
Ooh, lots of jock straps. So wait, is there any COVID regulations this weekend, Steve?
At Side Splitters? I don't think so.
It's the Wuhan of Tampa, is what it is.
It's the Wuhan of Tampa.
No, everything. Nobody's wearing masks. A couple of more like the employees are wearing masks at places than customers.
Okay.
Yeah, we're free.
Yeah, what is it like when you're on your tour? I mean, are there restrictions with the theaters? Or is it dependent on the state?
I haven't done any dates yet.
You haven't done anything.
I got to be honest with you. I don't. Florida's are the only states I can guarantee I'm going to do because of DeSantis or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm worried about the rest of the country, but I know that those Florida dates will stand.
Oh yeah, yeah. Florida, Texas, you're fine. I want to ask you something because you wrapped your film. How did you deal with, because you're over in Serbia, and I'm sure there was like a little pre-production phase, and then you jump into it. Because whenever I do those USO tours, it takes me like a good week, a week and a half to get used to the time change.
Yeah.
Was your time clock messed up the first week or two? Because and how long was the shoot?
It was horrible. The shoot was 3 months.
Oh,
so we had.
Okay.
Well, I know, dude. It's not. I had no idea what I was signing up for. That I was like 3 months living in Serbia was aggressive. But the first week I was like, I'd never experienced jet lag like that, because I had done Travel Channel for so long. I thought I was cool with jet lag, and it was like middle of the afternoon, and I was falling asleep.
That's in the United States, so it's like you're going from central to mountain. It's like an hour. You're still drenched, but
we went to like
on the other side of the world.
We went to Australia.
Hey, football's on. It's only 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Vegas before, and I usually bounce right back.
I have a better question about. So, did you not put Steve in your movie because Steve didn't put you in his movie?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Before I did,
Steve, I'm like a legit actor. I can be in your next movie now.
Well, now that you're privy to film, you do know that before I did your podcast. And you were so kind to have me on to promote the opening act. I did email you the email that confirmed that I was going to have you in the thing.
You did.
So you did see email confirmation from Vince Vaughn and Peter Billingsley signing off that you were to be the cop.
I'm working with Peter right now on a project.
Wow, you didn't know about that, did you?
No, I did. Because Peter.
Yeah.
Peter does call and say, "Hey, what do you think of so and so? What do you think of so and so?"
Right.
And there's
so
only
you gave him the green light.
Been like 2 comics. I'm like, nah. What's that?
Yeah, I was like, he's definitely running this up the flagpole. He's like, there's no way.
But that was great. That was great to get that was great to get the email from you for an offer for your film. I was really excited to.
Shut up.
What happened? What happened to that though? What happened to that? Did I ever come up in your mind? What happened, Bert? It feels like Bert's a rat in a coffee can right now. Bert, what happened?
No, there was a
offer?
specific scene when I was robbing the train where everyone goes, "Holy cow! There's an Irish Asian guy."
Would have threw the whole movie would have been thrown off.
Yeah.
You hear a gong hit, and then you hear bagpipes.
Oh, that's great. Well, neither one of you put me in your movie, so both of you can suck it.
You were in my show.
I was on your show.
That's
You're
true.
right, Steve. I shouldn't even brought that up. I was on your show.
Oh yeah, Steve. Yeah. By the way, I'm dying to talk to you about something, Steve. My God.
Go ahead, just say it.
No, I'm gonna send. Wait, I'm gonna send.
No, you
Steve a
won't.
text
No, you
right
won't.
Is this
now. I'm going to right now.
Is this something you
Ready
can't say,
for it?
but I should say on the air?
No.
Oh.
Well,
Is it
you
something
don't
about
wanna-
Owen Benjamin?
Oh God. Oh man. I was talking to Neil Brennan before over the break, and he's
The
like,
good Brennan.
What's that?
The good Brennan. Yeah.
The good Brennan.
Yeah.
And he was saying, boy, with what's going on, thank God you had Roy on the show. Otherwise, you'd go 0 for 3. I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh man.
Oh my God. That was exactly what I was going to text you too. Oh my God.
What was it like working with Luke Skywalker?
He it was great. I definitely realized that I can be a tall order sometimes.
There were times where you posted things and he looked fatigued.
Yeah, he enjoyed me. I'm defending him because I know that he would be like, Bert, I liked you, but there were times where you could see that I was grating on him aggressively, and he was like, what? At times he was like, I mean, this makes me never want to do a movie again. I mean, you're exhausting.
That's funny.
I told him, I said, Mark, right when we were doing hair and makeup one time, I said, Mark, everyone asks me what it's like to work with you, and I love working with you. I get a real kick out of him. He's a very sweet, generous dude. Like, he's really, and he's not, you'd think, obviously, Star Wars is what it is, and everyone has questions about Star Wars, and he's never once batted an eye. He gives everyone a longer answer than you'd think. Like, he really is generous with his time about that stuff. But I said, Mark, people are going to ask, like, if we got along, and he's like, what are you going to tell them? And I was like, well, I really liked you, and he was like, then leave it at that.
I could easily see 2 months into filming Bert go, you were in Star Wars?
Like the Star Wars?
You know what I said to him? I go, one day I walk on the set, and I go, there was a dude inside R2-D2? And he goes, he's like, yeah. I was like, shut up. And he was like, I hate to break it to you, there was also a person inside C-3PO. And I was like, there was a real person inside C-3PO? And he goes, what did you think? I go, I thought they were robots. He goes, Bert, it was 1977. You thought there was robots?
Well, I think
Besides that common sense stuff, is there anything else that he told you that you were like, no?
No, he had he had really great stories about the casting of it and the way that like George Lucas shot the film. Like he would as obviously Steve knows, like working with a director is really interesting because you get to learn everything about the our guy Peter Atencio was really like very meticulous, very like thoughtful. He had really thought out everything. I mean, I didn't know that a director had to do that. I literally thought a director said, "What's the best shot? That's it. All right, and action." And so and so I said that, and then Mark goes, "No, that's George Lucas." And I went, "What?" He goes, "You'd be shocked. His directing was like, all right, do it again, but a little bit better." And and so he was like, and he could recite any line from Star Wars. Like you could be like, it was bizarre. He's an amazing dude. He really is. But I think it'll be interesting when we do press for the movie and people go, so what was it like working with Bert? He's going to be like, well, his shirt's always off, he's half naked, and he's drinking nonstop.
Which is what most of us say about you.
Yeah. And by the way, you're partly responsible for that brand, Cowhead.
Yeah, well, about getting you drunk and shirtless? Oh, I know why, because your first special.
When I did my first special, I called up and I was like, what do you think? And Cal goes, it was good. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, oh, that's not you. And he's like, you're the guy that comes up and rips his shirt off and drinks a beer, and that's why we like you. And then all of a sudden you're in a collared shirt and jeans, and it just wasn't you. And I was like, I'll never let that be said about me ever again. And I was like, that next special was like, this is going to be me. I'm going to be shirtless.
Well, there you go. So I take all
You're
the credit.
welcome, America.
I'm sorry,
You're
Mark
welcome,
Hamill.
America.
All right, let me tell you, because Bert's got a whole tour of stations he's got to talk today. Bert Kreischer will be here in Tampa on Wednesday, October 20th at the Strauss Center. I think that might be sold out because 2 shows were added to Thursday, the 21st. There's one at 7 and one at 9:30. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster or the Strauss Center, and I will probably be out there for both shows, and then I believe we have a private jet in our near future.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. In all honesty, and I say this all the time, so happy for your success. I'm looking forward to seeing you do comedy, though. And you're still one of the funniest guys I've ever seen in my life. And Bert will be here. Go see. If you haven't seen Bert, and you've only known him from hearing him bits and pieces on the show, he's got 3 shows here in Tampa. You have no excuse. Go out and check him out. And we'll catch up with you. I guess I'll see you then. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, I'll see you then. And everyone go see Steve this week at Side Splitters. Steve is one of the honestly, the two of us, our personalities developed comedically at the same time. He's the funniest dude in the world, man. I really miss you, Steve. I do.
Love you, Bert. I'm so happy for you, man. And again, with that variety thing, I was so happy for you. Those things don't happen often in the comedy community. You rarely see.
Do you see my pink jacket?
We're not talking about
Okay,
that.
sorry.
You should take your shirt more
well,
often.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but
I
lots of love
appreciate
to
it.
you and the girls,
And-
buddy.
Thank you, brother. Same to your family. Hey, Cal, last thing before I go, make sure to tell Steve how big my new house is. All right.
See you, Bert.
I'll see it on Instagram.
No, you won't. I guarantee
No.
you won't.
Yeah.
He's super secret Bert now.
No,
Dude,
he can't keep his secret.
no,
That's
but
the
here's
one guy
the
that
problem.
can't keep a
I'll
secret.
tell you why, though, is because he's at that point of fame,
Yeah.
and his daughters are at that age where they're starting to get annoyed by his fans,
Yeah.
like if sending them pictures and things like that. So I think he's getting a little bit more serious about kind of keeping that stuff on the down low.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, his new house is like I was happy for him when I saw it. I was
Yeah.
like, I talked to Judy, his manager, and she goes, did you go by the house? I go, yeah, it's great. I go, but keep in mind, the first time I was out here, I was at the apartment.
Sure.
I was at the last house, and she's like, I've been there the whole way. I was like, yeah, I guess you have. So
Yeah.
it's good to see, you know what I mean, him doing. He's building the house, and he's
Right.
building it the way he wants it, which is no matter how big it is, as long as you have what you want, that's the
Sure.
key.
Yeah. What's the square footage on it?
I mean, it's probably about 6 and change.
Yeah, I
but
got
it's
5.
But it's a huge.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Listen to me.
Gated community.
No. It's not in a gated community, but it's got
No,
a
I am.
huge.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's got a huge privacy wall in the front
Yeah.
where you can't see the house.
Yeah.
Then the house is there, and then everything's behind it. He's
Yeah.
got so much property. That's the thing. The house is pretty big, but the property is massive.
But that's the thing that sucks about LA, though, right? Is like
Probably
you're gonna
cost
buy
him
in
$9
LA.
million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's not saying he's an idiot.
No,
but,
I know what
but,
you're saying.
But I just think that those guys that hit that echelon, it's like, okay, now you've legitimized yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're a known commodity within the industry. Get out of Dodge.
Where are you?
Get out, Nashville. I got out of
You
Na-
love Nashville?
Love it.
I've only been there one time, and I loved visiting it. I don't know that I'd want to live there. Not that it was
Yeah.
for any reason other than I don't know if it's really me. I definitely couldn't live in L.A., although that weather is enough to make me want to live under an overpass. It is so beautiful there.
Well, you could do it.
I mean,
could live under
you
an
really could.
overpass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got off the plane. I was like, this place is gross. And then after like 2 hours, I'm like, this is the best weather I've seen in years. And the way he has this set up in his house, I think he's going to be real happy. And then in 10 years, he's going to sell that house for 3 times what he paid for it.
Sure,
so
of course, yeah.
He's in good shape. Steve Byrne is here with us. That is Bert Kreischer, who is coming on tour. Steve is here this weekend, starting tonight at Side Splitters, 960-1197 or sidesplitterscomedy.com, where you can go online, buy your tickets, actually pick the seat that you want to sit in, and see Steve. He's one of the funniest stand-up comedians, and he's a longtime friend of the show, even though I didn't like him when I first met him.
Steve, we were talking about it earlier. Is this your first time at Side Splitters?
No, I'd been there. I'd been there maybe years ago, and the old owner was running the joint, and I just found him a strong cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it.
I was like, I don't know if this is my cup of tea, you know. So I went over the other club, but then this new gentleman took over the club, and I really enjoyed him, and I also like the roster that they put together. Like I see, you know, when you go to the club and you see, Mark Norman's here, and so and so's here, and so and so's here, and you're like, you kind of want to be there.
It's funny you say that because Bobby Jewell, who used to own the Side Splitters, who is a wonderful guy. He's a super
nice
sweet guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't do much business with him, so I don't have to deal with him the way you guys do.
Yeah.
But he's a super nice guy. I think for years he thought I didn't like him, and that's not true. But we would talk, and he'd go, let me ask you a question. Why don't you put my comedians on your show? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know, because it's 2020 and Tommy Blaze isn't cool anymore. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. That was, I mean, how many times can you talk to Carl LeBeau? Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, once he tells his Sam Kinison story, he's done, you know? Yeah. So that was the thing. So BT really brought that club into where it needs to be with the Joe List and the Mark Normans and the Bobby Kellys and all the guys who are crushing. Louis C.K. Yeah. I mean, all you know, all these names. Now that club has a reputation of where when somebody big is looking for a club, that's the one that they go to. And to me, I'm not a comedian, but if I was going to be on stage, I love the improv. I love that 3 stories and the big thing. But you comedians, they don't like that. You like the intimacy of a small crowd.
Yeah, I do like the Tampa improv. It's not a knock against it, but when you're so vertical like that, and there's just this vapid space.
It's a theater. Basically it's a big theater, and it's hard to. It's not giving you that comedy connection that you want.
Yeah, but it's still a theater that's still like it doesn't like the aesthetics are weird. Yeah, it's like performing inside like a Pringles can.
Yeah, it's straight up. Is really what it is.
Weird, but like I don't know. Like the other like Side Splitters is it's one of those clubs. It's a throwback. Yeah. It's one of those clubs that survived the comedy boom because a lot of clubs went out of business. Yep. But it's one of those that still has the aesthetics and it still has that kind of old school charm.
Yeah, well, look, I'm very happy. We've had a great working relationship with them. We do shows there, and they bring in our favorite people. So we're
and it's next to an Anthony's, which I love.
It's next to an Anthony's, which I love. Anthony's one day called and they were like, "Are we doing an endorsement with this guy?" And they go, "No, we're not even advertising on the station." They're like, "Because he's talking about us all the time." I love it. It's just good food.
Oh, me?
No, me. When they first opened, I was like, I went to this Anthony's place and it was great. It was great. And it got back to them that I was talking about them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll always tell you I got a good restaurant whether or not I'm getting paid for it or not, and that was just one of them. You know,
their wings are. I've never had wings like that. In my life.
Unbelievable, grilled with the onions
in the
and
pan?
Whole thing. Listen, I'm a Sicilian and I eat their eggplant. Let me take a quick break.
Okay.
We're gonna hang with Steve Byrne. Take it to the top of the hour.
Yeah.
And then I want to find out what this project that Billingsley and Bert are working on that you're probably not allowed to talk about.
Okay.
I'll get it out of you.
Okay.
Spanish will tickle you.
Well, I don't know much. Peter just was kicking the tires, that's all.
Maybe we'll call Peter. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll call him up. All right.
We'll be back. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone.
It's the Mike Calta Show on 102.5 The Bone. I want you to ask yourself a very important question. Is it okay or not okay? Better yet, let Drew Garabo ask you every afternoon at 5 p.m. Call the show to debate the biggest